Is the Bahamas doing a complete 180-degree turn on their decision that they made earlier this year to change the fee structure for going to the Bahamas? Well, let's talk about that. Hey everybody, this is Captain Frank with the Ship's Log. I decided I wanted to be a pirate for Christmas this year, so I'm wearing my eye patch. But we got something to talk about. If you remember, a few months ago, I made a video about the change in the fee structure that the Bahamas had, or the changes that they made in order to take your vessel over to the Bahamas. A few years ago, a bunch of my friends and I, we actually did the ride from Fort Lauderdale over to the Bahamas on our jet skis, had a ball. It's a fantastic trip. But in my video, I was talking about whether it makes sense to do this anymore or whether you would even want to do this anymore because of the fee structure or the changes in the fee structure. So, it turns out that the Bahamas apparently are rethinking what they did. Now, if you remember, if you looked at any of the comments in my last video, or maybe you even commented on the last video, people really weren't happy about this, as all these people were commenting like, man, this was something that was on my bucket list. I really wanted to be able to take my jet ski over there and do that ride. But after this, I'm not going to do it. It's just not worth it. I mean, comment after comment after comment. So for a lot of people, that change in the fee structure pretty much killed the idea of maybe checking something off on their bucket list. Literally, it raised what it would cost to take a jet ski over there from $150 to $700. So that obviously is pretty prohibitive. And that's why we reacted that way. One of the things I mentioned in my video, though, is even though, we talk primarily about jet skiing and we talk about the things that affect us, that this fee structure change didn't just affect jet skiers. It really affected anybody and everybody who wanted to take their vessel over to the Bahamas, whether it was just for a couple of days, long weekend maybe, or whether it was for the season. Well, it's winter time right now. For a lot of people who live the cruising life, this is the time of year where they're over in the Bahamas. You got a lot of people that have, like a 40-foot sailboat or a 45-foot flybridge cruiser or a trawler or whatever kind of boat that they have. Some people live on these boats. Some people just go cruising for the winter to get out of the cold weather. Whatever the reason is, one of the places they love to hang out is the Bahamas. Okay? So since these fee structures affect everybody, not just jet skiers, what do you think is happening this winter in the Bahamas?
Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper has announced that following consultation with Prime Minister Philip Davis, the government will review its newly implemented policy on boating fees and entry protocol for boaters. Marina owners are blaming the current policy for empty marinas and a 40% slump in boating traffic this year compared to 2024. His statement came as the Bahamas Yacht Charter Show announced it would cancel its 2026 showing as a result of low interest from yacht brokers who have lost interest in the Bahamas as a result of the fee structure and entry protocols.
Yep, lots of empty slips at marinas in the Bahamas. The cruisers aren't showing up. And of course, if they're not going, this is the busy time for them. If they're not showing up, they're not spending money. They're not buying fuel. They're not paying for slips. They're not buying food. They're not going to restaurants. Whatever it is they spend money on over there, they're not doing it. So businesses are really suffering over in the Bahamas because the cruisers aren't showing up, because they are also saying, we don't want to spend this exorbitant amount of money to go over there, especially if we're just going over there for 3 or 4 days. We don't want to do that. So it's not just affecting us. Well, not too long ago, the powers that be in the Bahamas had decided, maybe this was not such a good idea. I think we could have told them that, but okay, they weren't listening to us. I'm going to read you a letter here that was just recently issued. This is a statement from Chester Cooper, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments, and Aviation review of boating fees and entry protocols. The Bahamas has built a global reputation on a foundation of warmth, openness, and a seamless partnership with those who visit our waters. Our priority is to protect that reputation and ensure the economic prosperity of the Bahamians who depend on it. Over the past several weeks, we have listened closely to the concerns expressed by our marina operators, tour guides, service providers, small business owners, particularly in Abaco, Bimini, and the Exumas, regarding recent changes to the regulatory framework affecting our boating sector. We've heard reports of cancellations and the sentiment from some visitors that they felt unwelcome. Really? Imagine that. After discussions with Prime Minister Davis on the issues that have arisen, keynotes of concern have been identified, and there will be a review of current framework and its implementation. It's important to note that these measures formed a part of a broader policy approach driven by considerations of regulation, environmental stewardship, and building infrastructure for the sustainable management of our marine space. The Ministry of Tourism is focused on ensuring that the Bahamas remains one of the most welcoming and competitive destinations in the region for boating visitors. To that end, I will be working closely with my cabinet colleagues, the Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Transport as we advance a review of the process and its ultimate competitiveness. The aim is to assess the framework, its implementation, and its impacts. I'm confident that through dialogue, cooperation, and good faith, we can arrive at the outcome that reflects our values, protects our interests, and reaffirms the world that the Bahamas remains open, responsive, and ready to welcome all who wish to responsibly enjoy our waters. So what does all this mean? That's a good question. It simply means they're going to look at it. I mean, they've lost a lot of business, or the businesses in Bahamas have lost a lot of business. I've heard 40%, 50% reduction in business. I saw a letter that was written by a person. He said that he actually was from Bahamas, but he now lived in Florida, but he would bring his boat over to the Bahamas in the wintertime. And he said last year, when he took his boat over the Bahamas, he had to beg to get a slip at whatever marina that he was at. He said this year, he was the only boat in the marina. And he actually took a picture of the marina with one boat parked in the slip. And he said, that's my boat. I still came, that's my boat. I'm the only boat here. So that gives you an idea as to how much of a drop in business. Major boat show that they normally have every year at the Bahamas canceled because nobody wanted to go. These are all things that they should have seen. You do things like that, those are the results that you're going to get. I don't understand how they couldn't see that. I completely understand, hey, we want to make sure that we take better care of our environment. Maybe we even want to raise money to take better care of the environment as we have all these people coming in. I get it. That's fine. Makes sense. But you gotta do that within a reasonable means. And it doesn't seem that's what they were trying to do. A lot of people are calling it a money grab. I can't disagree. I'm not saying that I know that's what it is, but I can't disagree because that is exactly what it looks like. So the fact that they're going to reevaluate, what are we going to get? Going to go back to the same thing we had before? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. But I'm hoping that they'll actually come up with something that makes a little bit more sense and is not so prohibitive to people actually wanting to go visit. There's one thing that I hope they remember. It doesn't matter how beautiful your paradise is, it still can be overpriced. And if it is, people just won't go. But with that, I hope everybody has a fantastic start to your new year. Definitely looking forward to bringing you some more cool content in the new year. And until then, happy riding.